Welcome to Pace Studio on the Road. We're here in Atlanta right now in the Woodlands at SweetWater Brewery, and we're live with Caleb Lee Hutchinson. Caleb Lee Hutchinson, thanks for being here, man.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Such a cool room here, man. I'm excited.
And I mean, it's become cooler since you've been here and since you've been sound checking and booming your thunderous voice throughout this cavern, man. It sounded amazing.
Man. Yeah, I'd like to think I offered a certain kind of must too to the room, kind of an added flavor.
Yeah, it's been combining with the Brettanomyces in those tanks over there, man. Everything about you has benefited the atmosphere of this place.
There's going to be a little drop of Caleb in that particular brew. Yeah.
Outstanding. So the Caleb brew rolls out in the fall, and but right now we're going to present Caleb and your music to the internet. And congratulations to you, because Slot Machine Syndrome was just announced today. It's out on September 17th, and we're hearing 4 songs from it, man. What's first today?
Absolutely, yeah. Let me. I'll play you the song that's going to be dropping Friday. This is a song that I wrote a couple years back, and I've been playing it now for a couple years live, and the meaning's kind of changed for me, but it's always been fun to play, and it's called Who I Am. I ain't got much going on these days. Seen a lot of work, but ain't seen no pay. I seen people passing me in another lane. Heard folks trying to be what they ain't. I heard them sing things they don't mean, and most of them don't think too much of me. Yeah, they doubt my authenticity just because they seen me on TV. But all I can be is something real, just singing words that folks can feel, and words I've been living since the day I started rolling down the lost highway. I don't need your blueprint for what I already do. I'm just gonna sing a song that gets me through, so you can try and figure out my plan, but don't try to tell me who I am. No. Well, I woke up early this morning, and that rain's pouring down. So I tried to spend my records, but they wouldn't make no sound. And all I can be is something real, just singing words that folks can feel, words I've been living since the day I started rolling down the lost highway. I don't need your blueprint for what I already do. I'm just gonna sing me a song that gets me through, so you can try and figure out my plan, but don't try to tell me who I am. So you can try and figure out my plan, but don't try to tell me who I am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. And you, and you, and you.
Caleb, thank you, man. Thanks for coming here and sharing the music with us today. We very much appreciate it. And we appreciate, and Mom and Dad are here. So this is a family affair. So Mom and Dad, thanks for being here. Yeah. Yeah, man, this feels really good, dude. Thank you for coming and sharing the music. And we were talking offline about Brent Cobb a little bit, who produced the EP. We just crossed paths with him less than a month ago in Nashville. He's busy keeping them on their toes.
He's keeping them on their toes.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
That's right. So, what was that relationship like? What was it like working with Brent?
Man, it was incredible. So, I've always known about Brent and looked up to Brent. I was listening to his music when I was in high school. You know, he's a fellow Georgia boy. And so I've just always been such a big fan of his. And when I first moved to town, you know, I was talking to a friend of mine and talking about different people I wanted to write with, and, you know, I was hoping I could get to write with. And so I gave her a list of just like dream opportunities, like my top 10 people I'd love to write with. And, you know, Brent's like top 3 on that list. And so I got to meet Brent and write with him, and I was completely starstruck and made a fool of myself. But we sat there and talked about just music and country music, and, you know, I think he was impressed that I knew as much useless information as I did. I think I was one of the few people to be my age and know as much information that will never really benefit me in life. And so I think he was impressed by that, and wrote with him a couple more times. He and I wrote Slot Machine Syndrome together, which is the title track, and yeah, man, he's just a great guy. It was a pleasure getting to work with him in a studio, and he's just such a laid-back, like, good old boy. It just seemed like somebody I knew around town, and it was the most fun thing I've gotten to make was this project, because I just hanging out with him, and he's always cool. You know, he'd show up with a bologna sandwich and a chill vibe, and it just felt like we were all hanging out making music.
Yeah, well, man, clearly that seemingly useless knowledge did end up benefiting you, man, because it's you know, that's how the geeks find each other, man.
Yeah.
Your radar just sort of pinged, and I'm sure Brent's did too at that same time.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, cool, man. Well, I'm glad that you had that experience, and I've been enjoying everything about the music so far, and there's a lot more to be shared with the internet, man. What's happening second off of Slot Machine Syndrome?
Absolutely. I'm gonna play you a song that I wrote all by myself. It's called "Love You Tonight." Closer to me, my darling, that's where I want you to be. Take a look at me now, my honey. Tell me, what do you see? You see a man strong enough to hold you through the storms of this life. Or do you see one that's been kicked around, too afraid to fight? Follow me down to the river, take a look in my eyes. Well, I'm the kind of man most don't understand, but darling, I could love you tonight. In the past, and hey, so have I. But I never would have gone if I'd only known your love that shines through like a light. And I know I don't have much to give you, but when the stakes are high, I don't fold. Till the day that I die, I promise to love you a world's worth of silver and gold. Well, follow me down to the river, take a look in my eyes. Well, I'm the kind of man most don't understand, but darling, I could love you tonight. Well, I'm the kind of man most don't understand. But darling, I could love you tonight. Thank you. Thank you guys.
Man, I forgot to tell you offline that we are going to wait like 3 seconds after the song finishes to start clapping, so that massive reverb tail in this room can kind of leave it before we start.
I just thought maybe that you and I just kind of, without words, just made the choice that we're just going to have 3 seconds of eye contact before everyone else joins in.
Yes.
Just so it really just feels more personal that way.
I know. Hey, man, I will stare directly into your soul anytime you want. Maybe offline we can just hang before you head back to Nashville and just stare.
Dude, I felt very comfortable, alarmingly so. Yeah.
Man, well, this is a total joy to have you here, and it was we were offline talking a little bit earlier about the potential plans. I'm not sure if they're flashed out or not yet, but to release some of the really early on music that you did before you graduated high school, so fans might have sort of an insight into what really early Caleb Lee Hutchinson sounded like. Can you talk a little bit about the potential release plans for that, for the very early music?
Absolutely, yeah. We so I did an EP when I was in high school. I think I was about 15 and dropped it when I was 16 or 17, and it was just kind of, it lived there while I was in high school. And a couple years ago when I moved to town, I just kind of was worried about like the brand or whatever, and I had a couple people say, maybe you should start fresh. But it's kind of like just as I've been in town and as I've been around people, like I got fans still that like that music that's not there and ask for it all the time, and it's humbling that like stuff I wrote. There's a song in there I wrote when I was 10 years old, and people like it, and so it's cool. It's part of my story, and I think so. Yeah, I'm hoping to put that back up very soon. Man, it's a cool part of the story. It's funny. I kind of had that conversation with Brent Cobb, and because I was talking to him about like his first record, and I'm a huge fan of his first record he did. And I was like, yeah, man, you ever gonna like re-record the whole thing or anything? Because like I know he recently re-released it. He's like, no, man, you just gotta leave it as it is, like that. Your least favorite song of yours is gonna be someone's favorite song ever. So like you just gotta let it be. I was like, yeah, you're right. I get what you're saying. I should put my crappy album back up. Okay, that's what you meant to say. I'll do it.
Nice, man. Well, I'll look forward to that when it is available. So back then, when you were 10 years old, who were some of the artists that you were listening to that sort of informed your vocabulary at that age? Yeah,
well, I mean, most of it was whenever my dad would drop me off at school. He had a cassette player, and we would sit there and listen to like Waylon, Johnny Cash, John Prine, Bob Dylan, and everything else. And so everybody was in the High School Musical, and I said, no, like you guys got to listen to this Johnny Cash guy. I think he's really going to be something, like this kid's got a lot of potential. And so yeah, man, I was never a little kid that wanted to be an astronaut or a firefighter or a president. I was always like, that's what I'm gonna do. And I wrote, my first song was a drinking song. I actually wrote it with my great uncle. It's called Drink You Away. So be looking forward to hearing that embarrassment.
Nice, man. Well, I will stay tuned. We will all stay tuned for when that becomes available. I'm looking forward to it. Yeah. And thanks again for being here and sharing your music with us.
Absolutely.
And there's a lot more of it, man. What's happening next?
Yeah. So I'll play you a song. I wrote this with a buddy of mine. His name's Trey Hensley, and he's probably in my opinion, the best flat picker to walk the earth. He's real humble, so he'd say he wasn't, but dude's incredible. And we wrote this song. It's easily the countryest country song on the record, and it's called I Must Be Right. Feeling in my bones, by the morning she'd be gone, that I'd run her off just like the rest. Sure enough, by the time the rooster crowed, I looked out of my window. I must be right since she left. She had a suitcase packed, she never once looked back. I knew that I must not have passed her test. But them tire tracks in the gravel left me all unraveled. I must be right since she left. Oh, she's gone. Yeah, she's gone. to a place that she'd rather be. Before she's gone, I'm free to roam. At least my pride can ride along with me. Well, I told her that I would never change, that I wasn't one to give her my last name. Yeah, why she stuck around so long is anybody's guess. I must be right since she left. From start, woman, if you give me your heart, I wouldn't go around placing bets. Oh, 'cause I was born a rambling man. Why, I'll never understand. I must be right since she left. Lord, she's gone. Yes, she's gone to a place that she'd rather be. Lord, she's gone. I'm free to roam. At least my pride can ride along with me. Well, I told her that I would never change, that I wasn't one to give her my last name. Yeah, why she stuck around so long is anybody's guess. I must be right since she left. Yeah, why she stuck around so long is anybody's guess. Well, I must have been right since she left.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right.
Thank y'all.
That sounds great, man. Thank you, and thanks for making this a stop in your travels. I know we've caught you at it's a busy time right now. You're headed back to Nashville, and you're headed out to Colorado.
Yeah.
Playing this weekend. There's a lot of tour dates, some of which are up at your website at calebleehutchinson.com. There's a lot more being announced on Friday.
Yeah.
Can you talk about some of the upcoming highlights for you?
Yeah, I'm getting to play Country Jam in Colorado this weekend, so I'm super excited. I'll actually be back down in Georgia for the 4th of July. I'm playing in Perry, Georgia, so super excited about that. Going out and doing another Country Jam in August out in Montana, which is going to be beautiful. I'll be in Georgia again. It's almost like I'm from here or something. At the Milltown Music Hall in Bremen, Georgia, August 7th. Yeah, dude, it's. I saw so many tour dates last year go away. Mm-hmm. And so there's like such a big part of me that's almost scared to say the new ones out loud, or I'm scared they'll leave me, you know? Something to talk to my therapist about. But yeah, we got tour dates on the website, calebleehutchinson.com, and more to be added. And yeah, I'm feeling blessed to be busy, and I feel extra super blessed to be here and hanging out with you guys, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course, man. Well, enjoy the Colorado dates, enjoy the Montana dates. I mean, that's nice to be out of. I mean, in the fresh air. You know, it's easy to be healthy when you're under that much sky and around that many trees.
Absolutely.
Emily was telling me you're a fan of a healthy lifestyle and keeping active, and she said you're fond of a good breakfast burrito. So like, what do you do when you're out on the road, and it can be difficult to take care of yourself when you're out there? What do you do to continue to be healthy?
Well, thank you for noticing my amazing physique. A lot of people do think I'm Chris Bumstead, an Olympian. You know, I would say if you want the Caleb Lee Hutchinson body, you know, there's just a few things you need to do. First, you need to understand that the average person is never going to be able to obtain this. No matter how much work they put in, what they eat, doesn't matter. This is genetic gifts, sculpted like a Grecian god, wearing Goodwill clothes. This is something the average man's not going to be able to get.
Well, the rest of us mortals can try, though. I mean, it's about the journey and not the destination necessarily, even though if we can't attain it.
Down upon the mortals as they try. It entertains me in a way. But with that being said, a caloric deficit, and take your time and have fun. Yeah, it's fun.
Wonderful, man. We'll enjoy the road, and yeah, I mean, it's cool. There's a lot of opportunities upcoming for people to see you live. Thank you for doing this live for the 9 of us here in this room.
It sounds like 30 with the reverb in this room. It's awesome.
Yeah, that's right, man. There's a lot of happy people on the other side of those lenses, so we've got a good crowd tuned in right now. Thank you for doing this, and we are not yet finished, man. There's more of your music to be shared. What's coming up last today?
Absolutely. Lastly, I'm going to play the title track. This one I wrote with my best friend ever. In a lot of ways a father figure, in a lot of ways a son figure, Mr. Brent Cobb. The song is called Slot Machine Syndrome.
He ain't ever been afraid to roll the dice. No matter the cost, he'll pay the price. He'll rack up on heartaches and get by just bluffing. He'll go all in and come out with nothing. But he feels just fine putting it all on the line. He's got slot machine syndrome, and it'll get you every time. You won't win a dime with slot machine syndrome, but I guarantee that you'll lose your mind. He always says, son, I do the best that I can, but life it ain't fair, and I'm just a man. The lesson we all learn again and again is when you deal with the devil, the house always wins. If you don't think it's true, or it can't happen to you, they'll say you've got slot machine syndrome, and it'll get you every time. You won't win a dime. Slot machine syndrome, but I guarantee that you'll lose your mind. Yeah, I guarantee that you'll lose your mind. Thank y'all.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
man. Caleb Lee Hutchinson, dude, thank you for doing this. We appreciate it. Mom and Dad, it was great meeting you. It was great meeting everybody. So thank you for coming by and doing it. Travel safely and enjoy all those dates. And tell Brent that we said hi if you see him before we do.
Yeah.
And man, best of continued luck. It's not out yet. Best of luck on Slot Machine Syndrome. It comes out on September 17th. And thanks for sharing the music with us today, man.
Thank you guys so much for having me, and it was a pleasure. I hope to do it again.
All right, man. See you next time.
Thank you, man.
All right.